What's up, all my Jeeping friends? Coming to you recorded from under my Jeep. So, today's video is about something that YJs have, some XJs have, that's something that's very problematic, and most people don't understand how it works. Me personally, I'm not going to go through the trouble to make it work like it's supposed to, but I'll mod the heck out of it to make it work. And it always works when you mod it. I'll put a link down below because I've got a video about me modding this contraption. You want me to start messing with you guys? Tell you what, it's a central axle disconnect, the CAD, the vacuum pod things on the front axle that locks and that disengages and engages your axle together. Well, a long time ago it wouldn't engage, so I put that choke cable kit in and modded it. It worked great for a couple years, and I put, again, like I said, I put a link down below in the description for that. They worked for a couple years and worked great. Then all of a sudden I discovered, why is my front axle not locking in? Why is it not locking? I've got the manual cable and pulling and pushing, pulling and pushing. The front axle's not locking in. Really? So I pull the cover off and to discover, ta-da! That's the little shift fork that slides that collar back and forth on the axle that engages and disengages the axle. Okay? And it locks the splines together so it'll engage. Look right there. It don't look right, does it? It broke. Hence the reason it wasn't engaging. So I did a quick fix to it and really didn't intend for it to be permanent, but honestly I did this mod like 2 years ago, and I thought, well, actually I'm looking at it right now and it's leaking a little bit, so I'm gonna pull it off and clean it up real good and clean the gasket surfaces off and put some more Permatex on to make it stop leaking. But I thought, you know what? I've never told you guys about this mod. It is so ridiculously simple. Y'all want me to hush? Just get on with it? Alright, let's go. But there you go. There's central axle disconnect. One of the most problematic things about a YJ. For those of you who don't know, you get this vacuum signal that goes up here. When the vacuum engages, a little vacuum diaphragm here that slides this collar, that fork I showed you a moment ago, slides that fork back and forth, which engages a collar that's inside here, which you guys will see in just a little bit. So what we need to do first, and you guys can see I've got a bolt broke off right here, but this right here is a 7/16, and you're going to have 4 of them. Take that off. Once you get your 4 bolts out, what we're going to do now mine's a little bit different because my fork is missing now, so I can just pull straight down and be done with it. But what you're going to have to do, if your fork is still in there, you're going to take it, either you might get something underneath here and pry it a little bit. Just what you want to do is just break it loose from the axle housing and this, separate it. But then you're going to pull it straight back toward the back side of the Jeep, because you got to disengage that fork. It comes off that collar, which you'll see here in just a moment. If you try to pull it straight down, you're subject to tweak that fork and break it. So what you want to do is, when you break this loose, bring it straight back this way to remove the fork off the collar you're about to see. Okay, I'm going to be right back. One quick point here. Don't do like I just did. Have a brain fart and forget to put your catch can under it. You see I've got it up on a ramp. Just this one tire is the only one up on a ramp. See? Which is tilting the axle like this right here, which is running most of the oil, the axle grease, down inside the pumpkin here. But you still got to have some residual stuff left over in here. So put your catch pan under if you don't want to make a mess, because now I got a big spot in my driveway, but it kind of matches the rest of the spots, so not a big deal. So put your catch underneath it. Now we can pop that sucker off there. Now I've got the cover popped off, and what you're about to see, for the people who've never looked inside this CAD area before, for you people who've never looked inside this is not a factory setup here, okay? Because what you're about to see is 2 hose clamps. AMC, Crosser, Jeep, whatever, did not put hose clamps inside your axle. They's just not what they do. So I want to throw a little disclaimer in before you guys see what's going on here. But some of you diehard Jeepers that knows what's up, why I did this. Alright, roll the camera around. Okay, there's what yours. That right there, see where I got the light shining on? This right here is what engages your axle. And what's supposed to happen, I know the lighting kind of bites right now without the flashlight on it. This little fork right here engages inside that groove right there. Okay, let me get my flashlight back out on you here. You see how it slid into the groove of that collar. And what it would used to do, it would slide back and forth and slide that collar back and forth, let it engage and disengage. Take that off. So what happened when the collar broke, when that fork broke, it no longer would slide this collar back and forth. So this collar is supposed to slide all the way over to this side. So long story short, take this right here, slide it all the way over to the bottoms out on the axle over here. One hose clamp, as you see here, then I put another one there. Why two? Well, because I was just being extra thorough, I guess. But if you look at the positioning of the hose clamps, see the worm screw up top and see the worm screw on bottom. Each one of the worm screws 180 degrees out from each other. That was all the way down and that was all the way up. My thought behind the whole process was that for balance, I put a worm screw on one side. It's so far inside the centrifugal force of the circle that it probably wouldn't cause a balance issue. But heck, I had it, so why not? So I put one, which for you to see the screw heads, the axle has to be turned a little bit. But you see one's right here. I tightened it down, put the other clamp up here, turned it 180 degrees out, tightened it up, and they're pretty tight. Don't strip them, because you don't want to strip them. You don't want to move it back and forth inside there. Now, like I said, that whole setup has been in there for like 2 years now. And I've driven this thing back and forth from Little Rock, Arkansas. I live in close to Nashville. From Nashville to Little Rock, Arkansas, which is approximately about 5.5 hours driving time. Made that trip many times. I've been to East Tennessee a few times. Got back from Memphis a couple weeks ago. Driving back and forth to work, which is about 70 miles a day round trip for the past few years, a couple years since I've done this. So yeah, I have absolutely had no issues. So there is you a quick, inexpensive, easy fix whenever that CAD does not work and you need a quick, easy fix. Take that fork completely off that cover, slide that all the way over, one hose clamp here, put your screw all the way down to the bottom, next hose clamp, put your screw all the way up to the top, tighten them up good, good hard snug, but don't strip them. Put your cover back on and you're ready to rock. That's simple. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to clean up all my gasket surfaces here and put me some new gasket sealer on there and tighten this thing back up because it was leaking. Holler back at you in a bit. Now, I didn't feel like the video would be complete until I showed you the inside of the CAD, which this is supposed to be inside there like that, but not broken, obviously. It locks inside there. Well, actually, that's backwards. Like that. And so what happens is this vacuum pod here, as it gets vacuum applied to it or removed from it, this shaft right down inside here moves back and forth, therefore moving this fork back and forth like this, engaging and disengaging that round collar I showed you guys in there. So what happens oftentimes, this vacuum pod right here gets bad throughout years of use and grime and junk gets inside of them. That vacuum pod diaphragm goes bad. So what I did was, this right here is a modification I did a while back. That I had a manual cable, and you can see where it's sticking out right here, stick through here, where I just pull the cable in and out, and it would slide this back and forth. It worked great for a while, but it kaput. So, anyway, I just want to show you guys real quick, and I'm going to clean this up and get it back on. Okay, got the perma slime on there, and time to put the cover back on. Okay, got the cover put back on, it's tightened up, and I just want to say one little note about these bolts right here. Don't get all He-Man on them, okay? They're small diameter bolts, very easily broken, so don't crank down on them tight. Hence, that one's broke. I could get easy out and back that one out, but it'd be alright. Where it was leaking at was kind of like over up in here for some strange reason. I kept wiping it and waiting till it the fluid come back out. Yeah, I ended up finding it. It's like right over in here, so that was kind of strange. I expected it to be over here, but nonetheless, I'm not going anywhere tonight. I've got it tightened up, so I'm just going to sit there, it'll cure overnight, and it'll be good to go in the morning. So cool. I showed you guys a quick, easy mod, 2 hose clamps, and you can have that axle locked in full time. So what'd you think, my Power Addicts crew? Was it not an easy fix? Yes, it was. Very inexpensive. 2 little hose clamps, done. Now there's also the option of the TJ axle. Yeah, that's a very common swap to taking out that 2-piece shaft for the YJ, where that collar connects the 2 pieces. Taking out that whole 2-piece shaft and putting in a TJ axle. Does it work? Yes, absolutely it does. But there's a little catch-22 to that. The TJ axles, people claim that you get, you get the axle, but you get the bigger U-joint. That's not always true. I know this for a fact. So if you guys follow my channel, you'll notice there's a 2000 model TJ blue that I've done various videos on such. That belongs to my buddy Wayne. Well, there was one day he was working on changing out the U-joint in the front axle because it was popping, and I didn't get no video on this, and we kind of wish I had because of what the U-joint is. Come to find out, okay, he would go to the auto parts store. I need a drive shaft U-joint for a 2000 model Jeep Wrangler TJ. They would give him the U-joint, okay? No big deal. It wouldn't fit. It would not go in the axle at all. Done. Finally, he come over here and says, Chuck, what gives? What is going on with this? And I look at it, and so I pull out my calipers. Calipers measure down to thousandths of an inch. I measure the ID of the where the cups goes inside the axle. Then I measure the OD of the cups on the U-joint. The OD of the cups of the U-joint was too big to go in the axle. I'm like, what the heck? So then it dawned on me. The conversion thing they do for the YJs, pull the YJ 2-piece shaft out, put the 1-piece TJ in because you get the bigger U-joint. Here's the 2000 model. So I thought, is it a possibility there's a crossover here? Crossover means they're using some of the old YJ U-joints in the TJs. Guess what? We went to the auto parts store, got a front drive shaft U-joint for a YJ. Fit like a glove, fit perfect. So not all TJs are you upgrading the size of the U-joint, so keep that in mind. Like I said, here's the 2000. Now how far did that go? I have absolutely no idea because that's actually caught us both by surprise. And like I said, I went to the auto parts store and asked for a YJ U-joint, and it fit that shaft in a TJ perfectly. So, how long did it go all the way up to 2001, 2002? Who the heck knows? I have no idea. So, anyway. So, if you like that video, give me that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, because every time you subscribe, you'll get an email. And hit that little notification bell also, because then you'll be notified saying, hey, Chuck has released another video. I gotta go check it out. Cool? Alright. So, also, if you got any good tips about fixing that little common problem, with that CAD, drop it down in the comments. Tell us how you did it, because not only does that help, add comments to the video, but it helps everyone who reads it. Not everyone, we got our seasoned Jeepers out there, the ones who've been around a wrench for a while, but then we got the people who are the upstarts that doesn't know these tricks. So whenever you leave very helpful comments down in the comments area, you're helping everybody, and that's what we all should do. So what we got to do, comment below if you got some good tips. Cool. So everyone, thumbs up, subscribe, great educational comments. Most of all, everybody out there in YouTube land, have a great day. Peace. Later.